All right, we got 2022 most improved drill rappers. It's a top 10 list. Like always, before we get into it, don't be arguing one spot over one spot. If one's at 6, one's at 7, don't be mad at me. It's just one spot. And also, if I forget somebody, that's on me. I'm a one-man army over here. I do make mistakes. Shit like that. Let's get into it. Top 10 most improved drill rappers. We got C Blue. C Blue, um, in 2022, I'm liking his music a little bit more. It's his features that be carrying a lot of time. The singles, I see him do a lot of different things with his music as of recently because he's out of his label deal and he's been dropping whenever he wants the last 6 7 months. But with that being said, he has lyrically gotten better. I've seen it get better. I'm hearing a lot more bars, a lot more slick little disses here and there. I'm fucking with it. But the only thing that's holding him back is his flow and his cadence. Like the way he says some things or the way he'll flow on a track just won't fit it. And in 2021, he really didn't have that problem. He would make a lot of good tracks like the Blue Bop. It ain't my favorite song, but I think it's better than a lot of the music he is putting out just because the flow is so nice. But yeah, still got a lot of improvement to do, but he definitely improved a lot from 2021 2022. And number 9, we got Deepplay for Keeps. A lot of people know Deepplay for Keeps for the We Back Part 2 with E Dot Baby dropping, I think, last year at the end of 2021. But I think Deepplay for Keeps the last 6 7 months with the rise of Sugar Hill, musically speaking, he has did his best to try to get under that spotlight with everybody else like Duty Low, Didi Osama, everybody around Sugar Hill. He's been taking advantage of that, dropping a lot of consistent and quality tracks, and I'm loving them a lot. I'm not gonna lie, it ain't my super favorite. They're not on repeat a lot, but they're definitely going straight to the playlist. He does have a lot of good songs. I think his voice is perfect for drill, and I think his flow and his beat selection. His beat selection, he has a lot of good samples, are what carry him a lot of the time. But I think eventually in 2023, with the rise of Sugar Hill and everybody on Sugar Hill, they're at a different level to get millions of views. But I think Deepplay for Keeps is going to be one of them guys that hopefully people stop sleeping on because he does have a lot of quality music out. Number 8, we got USheez. Listen, I ain't the biggest fan of USheez. I've been a big advocate of that. But USheez, without a doubt, has done his thing the last year or so. Ever since Dead Lokes, I feel like he's been on a tear. There was like a little downtime for a 2 3 month period where he wasn't getting 500K views or whatever the case may be. But 500K, less than 500K, like 300K, that's what he was getting. That's a lot more than a lot of drill rappers can say. And I think his quality visuals and his unfortunately not able to switch it up or try to switch it up is what's been carrying him a lot of the time, because I think his fans know what to look for him every time they go to a track. It's going to be the Batman voice every time. Even though I don't like it, I think he switched it up. He doesn't need to because he has a loyal fan base that's going to get him 500K to a million every time he drops. But yeah, Yoshi definitely needs his flowers for that. And again, his improvement is the most improved list. I think his improvement is definitely the beat selection. I think there was a lot of times in 2021 where the beat would just sound the same or the sample just wouldn't hit. But in 2022, I can definitely pinpoint a lot of the time with the songs and samples don't sound, or the beat don't sound anything alike. But the only thing is, he uses the same flow and the same cadence, the same Batman voice a lot of the time. But shout out Yushi's definitely been doing his thing. Definitely needs his flowers. Number 7, we got Murder G. Murder G in 2021, I couldn't tell you much about him. I didn't really know anything about him, but in 2022, with the Drilly indictment coming down and a lot of people getting locked up, Murder G has been one of the rising stars out of the Drilly side. Him and Sage really a low-key a dynamic duo at this point. Unfortunately, he's locked up right now. Free him. But he, I don't know what it is about him. I think it's mostly his voice that sets him apart from everybody else. And I think he works on a lot of tracks that go unnoticed. You feel me? He gets a lot of features with people from the Drillies like Sage Really, E-Woo, LA, and people don't really notice him. But they do. I feel like when they initially react to it or they initially see it, that it's in their mind like, oh, he just walked on that. But no one's really going out looking for Murder G music at this time. But I think eventually when he comes home, he's gonna have that fan base, and if he's consistent enough, he can build that fan base that's gonna ride or die with him. Number 6, we got Ray Bulla. Shout out Ray Bulla. Ray Bulla is one of them guys that has been able to stay out the trouble for the fifth to the seventh, whatever you want to call him. That he's been that third piece for them. TG, Kenzo, and then Ray Bulla. Everybody else has been locked up, unfortunately. Hunna, ODS Kimi, P Dot. You got so many people locked up right now, unfortunately, on their side, and it's a lot of potential there. You feel me? Kenzo and TG have done a great job of adding that third piece to every single song. If it's Ray Bulla, if it's P Dot, they'll drop a song and it'll be three people every single time. Chase, I forgot to mention, but Ray Bulla has definitely been that third piece. He's been dropping singles recently, and I think his improvement isn't more of it is music, because I definitely seen the flow get better, but it's more of him doing his own thing and it going unnoticed a lot of the time. This ain't an underrated list, but improving in music doesn't have to come with numbers. You feel what I'm saying? But shout out Ray Bulla. Number 5, we got Ewu. Just talked about Ewu with Murder G, but Ewu, I felt like that slur in 2021. Oh my god, it was I couldn't listen to it. But in 2022 though, he's managed to work around it and sound way better on it. I heard at the start of the year with him and I think it was Lee Drilly on Take That Trip. He definitely sounded so good on that song. And I think the Chopping a Party song, it was more of a rock type beat, and I'm not a big rock listener at all or care for any rock beats. But that sample and that beat right there, he walked on it. And I think the only thing that's holding him back right now is consistency. He can drop the 1 or 2 tracks in a 6-month period, but it's like you gotta do a little bit more. You gotta drop every 2 weeks at least, 2 times a month, once a month, something. You gotta stay consistent. That's the only thing holding Ewu back right now. But the slur is what really improved the most from him. Number 4, we got Eddie SB. If you know me, I've been a big advocate for Eddie SB. I think he's gonna take over in 2023, and I think the last 6 or so months, the consistency from not only Eddie SB, from everybody from everybody from SB, called Dave Ryer, Sandman, Eddie SB. Unfortunately, Nate Ben's locked up at this current moment. Free her. But SB has had this like rejuvenation. We haven't heard of SB in a while. We knew Nate Ben, she would do a couple features here on Sev's side, and you feel me, be cool with them and DOA. But we haven't heard many songs from them, and it was really like one-sided because we heard the Drilly side, but whoever they was talking to wasn't really responding back, or if they weren't putting out quality music that no one wanted to listen to. 2022 is different for SB, Eddie SB in specific. I think is the rising star at SB, and I think they can really he can really do his thing. But SB as a whole, they got a lot of underrated talent. And yeah, this Murder B song is super fire. I almost like this more than original, but nah. Number 3, here we go with ShyK. ShyK, you can argue, makes the same song every time. How can you put him on most improved? I'm hearing y'all. But in 2021, him not putting out any content for like the last 6 months, really, I think, I don't know if it was being locked, K-Flock and D-Thing being locked up, but it was 2022, he came out swinging, and I think it was more of, not really the flow, because he used the same flow. It was really the beats and the creative ways to diss that I never heard of. He would say stuff, and I'd be like, man, I haven't heard no one say it like that. But his creativity in dissing and beat selection really what took off for 2022 for ShyK. That 6-month period or 3-4 month period, maybe I'm guessing it, but that period where he was dropping every week was legendary, and I think it will go down in the books in drill history as being one of the greatest times for drill music, because every week is super hard to do consistency wise. The jokes with the orange Cleezy, that shit was funny as hell. That was a good time to be around and drill and paying attention. But yeah, he improved a lot on the bars and the beat selection. That's why I got him on here. And him just being, we always looked at him as a star, but it was like really living up to that star potential, and he's done that by staying out of trouble and dropping consistently. Number 2, we got Sugar Hill Keem. Sugar Hill Keem, man, y'all probably yelling at y'all screens, how can he not be number 1? Sugar Hill Keem has done a lot. I think in 2021 with the Move Look song, him and Blockwork, Blockwork killed that song. I don't even listen to that part of the song, but Move Look, Sugar Hill Keem has done a lot in 2022. If you look at his numbers are damn near untouchable by any other drill rapper. I think the last 10 tracks that he's dropped on his channel, the last songs, I think they all got 1 million views. I think there's only 2 or 3 songs on his channel that doesn't have 1 million views, and if not, they're super close to it. And I think that's very tough to do. And Keem, This is a guy that's getting dissed at early 2022. Like, how can y'all listen to his music? He's not saying anything on a track, and he took that and he ran with it. He's still not saying anything on a track, but he's making it creative, something you can dance to, something TikTok can take and make a whole, you feel me, sturdy compilation to, you feel me? And it's like the creative samples again, bro. The samples are so tough. But yeah, Keem, he's one of them guys that I didn't like a lot in 2021. I always gave him a chance. He was in the same boat as Nazi BK. I'm always gonna give him a chance because I think they make quality music, and I think if any fan base get a hold of that, or he puts out consistent music, he's gonna get that fan base, and it's gonna turn into real music. And I think Keem's making real music. But yeah, shout out Keem. He's definitely been on that 2022 radar for me, where he's like probably floating at that top 10 just because of how consistent he is. Unfortunately, he's locked up right now. Free him. And then we got number one, and I think it's a no-brainer if you listen to his music in 2021. We got Mani Tuhati. Mani Tuhati, he was unlistenable in 2021. I was hearing tracks from him, Nazi became Shimi, and him on features. It was just I don't know what he was doing. But in 2022, with the help of Set the Trend and other rappers from DOA, he's really put on. You see the song Drippy Udo's song. He's got a lot of songs with Set the Trend as a feature, or him and Set the Trend on a feature, and he's always walking on his feature every time, or verse every time. He's always saying something, or you feel me, his flow, his cadence. I'm fucking with it a lot, and he's turned into one of my favorite drill rappers. Not gonna say top 10, but he's definitely floating around that top 20, top 15. I just think the only thing is I want more consistent music from him, like single wise, no features, because he has the one Gothic song. He has a couple singles out, but mainly if he just puts out a good body of work with him by himself, I'm gonna fuck with it a lot more. But like I said, the features with him are going crazy, and his improvement from 2021 2022 is ginormous. But yeah, again, if you want to argue someone else on this list, you probably right. It's just people at the top of my head, top 10 people, and there was a lot of people I didn't know to add, or like I don't know. It was super hard. These lists are super hard to make because you gotta like there's like probably like 200 to 300 drill rappers I can name, or like I can think of in my head. So putting it down on the top 10 list is hard. But yeah.